Am Savvy Mike, and this is I Am Savvy Mike TV. And we have Ish calling sinners overrated, and Joe Budden questioning him about reparations because of the opinion he has over the movie. Let's listen.
I think it was highly overrated.
You said what?
Highly overrated. I think artistically it was dope, but I think it was highly overrated.
Why? Like, what had it overrated for you?
I think that what happened with the movie was the marketing was great, and I think that the people did a great job marketing the movie. Like, when I sit and talk to people about the movie before I saw it, it sounds like they regurgitating something that they read.
Okay.
Like, some of these motherfuckers couldn't use some of those words if you paid them. Like, and it just sounded like somebody read some shit and then they just
people were offering like dissertations on Twitter about it.
And I think people read, and I think people read that, and it influenced their real assessment of the movie.
So what did you think was like overrated? What were you expecting versus what you got?
Good question. I think the plot was blah. I think some of the symbolism that people talk about, again, I think they read that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people came up with that on their own. And then I've heard two, like, totally contrasting points of view. So I think that if you read one and you're like, oh, okay, that's what that meant, and then somebody else could have gotten something totally different. I think it was a great piece of art. But again, art is subjective. I could look at a painting and you could get something from it that I don't get from it. I could get something totally different. That's what I think it was. But as far as...
But you just said it was a great piece of art.
Yeah, the way it was shot. I think the cinematography, all that was dope. I think the plot was...
The storyline. You don't like. What do you think about the acting?
But what if somebody...
The acting was okay. It was okay. I think I like Michael B. Jordan. I think that I don't think he get in character well sometimes. Like, I think when you start doing a movie from the 1930s, we still speak too properly. I think when you are actor, you get into that. You change your grammar. You do all of that shit. Nobody's using apostrophe S's in 1930s when you was a sharecropper. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of that shit don't be believable for me.
Yeah, but it was a little different because they moved up to Chicago, hit the big city, and was working up there doing what they did. So he got a different experience than you say.
Like, it was Al Capone and niggas.
Yeah, he was up that way. So now he brought that back. So yeah, he's going to talk a little different with that little city
people have
swag
not been using apostrophe S's in the 1930s? Like, why is that so far-fetched? I don't know.
I think yes, they did, but yeah.
I think someone else up here even said that they didn't necessarily like the
I didn't like some of the language did seem anachronistic.
So
that wasn't my particular one.
That's the craziest thing.
Some of the slang I didn't like.
An example, bro. Like, when you watch a slavery movie, right? Or I watch Harriet Tubman, slavery movie. Slaves didn't speak like that. So it kind of comes off as like inauthentic.
I had issues with some of the language too.
Yeah, like,
so we want the slaves to be portrayed the right way.
What letter grade would y'all give? I would give the film. I was telling my homie on the way like a B plus A minus. I'll say A minus is probably where I would land.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I reserve A for like Godfather level shit. But like, or if I were giving a letter grade, I'd probably give it like a 90, 92, right? Or a number grade rather.
B minus.
B minus for you.
C plus, B minus.
C plus, B minus. Okay.
B minus maybe.
Wow. Okay.
It's definitely probably an A minus for me.
Yeah, I was 8.5 to 9 out of 10.
Yeah. So
I'm kind of surprised because you're pro black and you look at things from a pro black lens when it comes to black people and the black director and all the things surrounding the film. So I thought that you were going there with that.
I did because I read it.
Ish, do you feel like sometimes you don't like things because of the hype that comes with them?
Sometimes, but I think if it lives up to the hype, then I'm on board. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think that if I saw this movie without ever seeing anything about it, like, I'm not being contrarian. I saw the movie, it was okay to me. I've seen movies that was bigged up, and when I saw it, I was like, okay, that shit was fire. You get what I'm saying? So it don't do that for me.
Do you think your opinion would have been different if you'd never heard a thing about it?
Nah.
I didn't hear a thing about the movie when I went in. I didn't even know what it's about. I didn't know shit. I just watched it and enjoyed it personally.
Can I ask you a controversial question?
Me?
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't thought of it because Flip just said that pro-black shit, which I do believe that you are.
Yeah.
But there's a clip going around of you saying that you didn't believe that black people should get reparations.
Oh, I read that.
Did you?
I didn't see the clip, but I read somebody say that how disappointed they were in him saying that. That he said that
because they need financial literacy. He said that black people, if they get the money, they're wasted or whatever because they don't have financial literacy. What did you say?
I'm waiting for you to finish.
That's exactly what will happen.
I'm waiting for you to finish your question. Like,
I think that's what you asked.
End of your question. What about it?
Do you believe black people should get reparations?
No, I think black people should get equity, and I think the two are different. I think that I'm not really a fan of handouts. Like, I don't want your money. I just want me to be able to make my money and you not be on my dick about making it. I don't think that if we get reparations, we gonna fare any better. Me personally, I don't think that. So I think reparations would be a waste for most. Some would definitely take the money and do some positive things with it, but I don't think it'll get us no better if we not changing how we being treated in America. I don't think reparations gonna change nothing.
It's early in the show. Oh, good. Go ahead.
No, I ain't. Like, I don't want equality, I want equity. So if you got a 500-year head start and now me and Parks are able to both make $100 a day, Parks gonna keep his 500-year head start. It's not.
But if you got twice that much money,
and then I got twice that much money, and they still don't change the way that we are being treated, it's gonna be futile and useless.
But the way.
Oh, go ahead.
Because you said before that it's about rich and poor.
Mm-hmm.
So the way we being treated is because we're poor.
No, I think that yes and no. I think
let me just finish. So if we did get the money, would it change how we're treated because they're not necessarily poor anymore?
No, because they're not gonna give you enough money for you to be rich. Reparations, they're going to have to give 13% of the population reparations. And then they're going to decide if you got black blood, if you don't, like when we get the reparations. One, the reparations don't come with a financial literacy package to show you how to use the money to your best advantage.
That I agree with.
That's number one. Number two, it's black people that make a shit ton of money today that still don't do nothing with the money and don't gain nothing in society just because they have money. So I don't think the reparations is the end all be all. I think that's a cop out for me. It's my opinion.
I would just say one, and I get the idea of not taking handouts, but the whole argument of reparations is that it's not a handout, that it's owed, right? That it's reparations literally means repair,
Gotcha.
Repair the damage done. So the idea is if you took, like you said, if you got a 100-year head start and you took my money for 100 years and you exploited my labor, and all this stuff was built around our labor, universities, companies, insurance, all
the country.
Yeah, the whole country, right? Every institution. Then giving us reparations isn't a handout. It's actually what we're owed. And then the second part of that, I think, is I've never heard people say reparations is either or. You know, I've been part of the reparations movement for a long time, not like a leader of it, but just advocating for it. And every reparations person I know is also asking for voting rights, housing protections, other things. And then the last part of it is I think reparations should be a check. I think every descendant of slavery, to be clear so I don't get hit on the internet, every descendant of American slavery here in the United States deserves reparations.
Gotcha.
But I also think in addition to the check, we should also have access to free public education, like university education. We should also there's other things you can do systemically to close that gap in addition to the money. So I think we could.
But when we talk about reparations overall, we're talking about a check.
It's two different thoughts.
You taking it when most people, in a general sense, talk about reparations, they talking about a check.
Yeah, I think that's right.
You get what I'm saying?
I think that's fair.
If you said, "Yo, do you think every descendant of slavery should get free education?" Yeah. And again, it just depends on.
Would you, if you got all the other stuff, would you be okay with the check too?
I wouldn't be turned down to check now.
No, I mean as an idea. I don't mean would you turn it down? I mean, would you?
I just think that I don't think it's going to do what people think it's going to do. I think that a lot of times people just be like, "Yo, if my mother worked at such and such, I would be doing better." Or if all of that shit, to me, it's the same ideology, in my opinion. And it's funny that out of that Mandy interview, the shit that we highlight is the one thing that we ain't highlight nothing else.
Oh, I didn't see the Mandy.
We ain't highlight nothing else. All the other positive shit, we definitely gonna go to the negative shit, which I think is goofy, but it's cool. Again, I think
I don't. That was
I think the education is more important.
I disagree with that. I think that you should be able to expound on something that sounds wild in an excerpt. So I brought it up so you could do that.
No, I get it.
That was it.
I mean, we.
I didn't mean for the deep dive.
No, we. How I look at some of these issues again is definitely. I've been up here 4 years. How I look at some of these issues is definitely on the opposite side of many people.
But that's okay.
No, I know. I know. I'm saying I stand in that. Yeah. I'm not against that. I stand in what I believe in. I think that Dave Chappelle had the thing about reparations. He's like, yo, the Cadillac dealership gonna be empty in 2 days. Shit like that. Like, I just think that
they had a whole.
That's shit white people say to justify not giving it.
Yeah, I'm about to say. Then so we cop Cadillacs. Then
No, it ain't even just to justify not giving it.
Them white boys got all that crypto money and bought every Lambo in the spot.
But I'm just saying, we kind of saw something similar, not similar, but we saw when people got access to a whole bunch of extra money they didn't expect during COVID.
PPP and all that shit, yeah.
And look what happened.
I'm of the belief that that's not my business.
True.
I'm not saying that y'all are right or that y'all are wrong. That ain't my business. Somebody go get their check and blow it.
Of course.
It's funny.
Mine in the shoebox still.
This is a side, but it's kind of related. When I was in Nashville this weekend, we went to the Country Music History Museum or whatever, and they had some cars. They had Elvis's car. It was diamond paint, gold-plated trim, TV in the back. Another dude's car had guns for the door handles and a gun on the front. I was like, this is all the shit that they yell at rappers about, like violence and extremism, and country stars were doing the exact same shit in 1950 or whatever. Anyway, sorry.
White people own guns. That's for sure. White people definitely own guns. Regardless of it, when it comes down to it, do I think Sinners is overrated? Not necessarily in the way I guess Ish is putting it. I think it is an amazing movie directed by an amazing director. I was thinking about it today. I was like, damn, Ryan Coogler is already a better director than Jordan Peele. And we were expecting Jordan Peele to be him, and it's really Ryan Coogler. So props to him. I really wanted to see Sinners in 70 millimeter. Unfortunately, where I stay, they don't have that option available, so won't be able to catch it in that type of way. So shout out to the people that are being able to experience the movie how it was honestly meant to be experienced, because that's how they shot it. So that's pretty cool. But regardless of all that, you know, I could see why somebody would say this movie is overrated, because for me, you know, I just see the movie differently than all the people that were hyping it up. Like, I think it is a great movie. I think it is amazing, but it was a bit overhyped. I wouldn't say overrated. I'll say it was overhyped. Like, as far as, like, the themes go and everything else that was in it, you know, that's cool and all, but at the end of the day, it wasn't nothing that truly stood out to me, because I felt like that was the setting of the place they were in. I was just enjoying the story that I was watching. So everybody else thought deeper into it. They treated the Sinners movie like it was a Kendrick Lamar video. And that's just the truth of it. And, you know, it's fine. At the end of the day, that's basically what it is for me. Kendrick Lamar videos are amazing. Do I look into them as deep as y'all do? No. I still enjoy them, though. I still love them. And that's basically Sinners for me as well. So, like I said, I can get somebody saying it was overhyped, but not overrated. I think it is fairly rated because it is a great movie. It was well directed, shot well. Yeah, great movie. But outside of that, the reparations conversation, I would say I'm shocked to hear that is Ish's point of view, but not really. Not really. But regardless of it, you know, Mark Lamont Hill makes this podcast sound too smart. And I like this podcast when it sounded like I was listening to a bunch of idiots. You know what I mean? Because everything Mark Lamont Hill said about reparations, I agree with. He is absolutely right. But that doesn't change the fact that it was boring to hear, and it was like I was listening to a fucking professor speak a lecture. No, that's just how it comes off to me. I don't know. I don't find him as entertaining as his fans do. Just don't. Or Black Twitter does. Black Twitter loves him. I can't tell you why. But either way. But like I said, he did make some great points there. I agree with everything when it comes to the reparations parts of it all. And yeah, I don't see why Ish would have that opinion. But I guess when you've lived the life he's lived and says, hey, giving me a check isn't going to do anything for me. I want your white privilege. At some point, he's going to learn that, hey, buddy, you might be light-skinned, but when they see you, and by they, I mean the whites, they think you black. They don't think you're white. So white privilege is something you'll never get. So you might as well take a check. That's all I'm saying. Either way. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I am Savvy Mike in this. This is I Am Savvy Mike TV. Peace.